All right, so I've been waiting all day to do this. I've been trying to get as much information as I can before I come on here and make any sort of remarks that are maybe not true or misleading. So what happened today in the market was insane, and I'm going to give you a broad overview of exactly what happened. So, real quick, there's a Reddit forum called Wall Street Bets. It's been around for a little while. Basically, it was looked at as a bunch of degenerates on there posting, we love this stock, we like this stock, and trying to get, retail investors to push behind it and buy, certain stocks and make money. So, what happened the past basically week and a half was there was a few stocks. There's about, you know, 10 to 13 stocks that were listed on this form as having large short interest. So short interest means that, a lot of people were expecting the stock to go down. Particularly the interest that was in these stocks were hedge funds shorting the stocks. The one particular one that got the most traction was GameStop. GameStop was shorted 143% of the shares that existed. How can something be shorted more than 100%? There's a lot more detail into that. Options and borrowing shares to short. I'm not going to go into that. This is a top level view. So the movement in GameStop started last week. So there was an announcement that former founder of Chewy was going to be put on the board. So that day, the stock went up 11%. That was Monday, right? That was Monday the 11th. So that's one thing down. Okay. So here's the chart of GameStop. And here's the 11th. Okay. Nothing spectacular. Technically, if I'm looking at this, I can actually run this back so we can see where we were. So let's replay. Let's go back. Click starting point. Let's do... Oh, I wanted to do the weekly. Let's do this week. Right here. Okay. Here we are. So, here we are, December 28th. Technically, we have a weekly, 2 above the 1, 2 above the 9. That's an entry, right? So I'm going to look at my RSI and see that it's trending, we were, here. It's trending down. That's divergence. Let's go really slow on the replay. Okay, update every 5 seconds, 3 seconds. Let's do 3 seconds. All right, so there's nothing spectacular there. Let's play this through. All right, that's the next week. Let's go to days. I want to show this on the days because let's look at the 11th. We're on the 5th. All right. So 6, nothing. Now let's look at something real quick. So like I said, this form Wall Street Bets. Notice that there was short interest. The price went up. All right. So Quiver Quantitative keeps track of mentions on Wall Street Bets. There's nothing kind of anything. We're on the 7th. There's nothing. There's a little bit of mentions. 100 times on the daily discussion. 12th gets some. Okay, the 11th was whenever they made the announcement. The price jumped. So the next day there's a little bit more mentions. This is over 1,000. This is a cumulative, right? So that's almost 2,000 mentions. All right. So in that time span, there's a couple of hedge funds that announce that they are short this stock and the stock's going to go down. There's the 11th. There's the announcement, right? We got the jump of 12%. So Wall Street Bets also picks that up, and they kind of, make it a kind of a trend that we're going to push this hedge fund out of their shorts because the GameStop is extended on shorts. 143% of the shares that exist are shorted. So they're gonna run this. It's called a short squeeze. You can read more about that. It's called a short squeeze. So they run this. When's this dated? The 27th. Let me increase this speed. Once every 2 seconds, right? So Wall Street Bets is running this up. Boom. We're overbought. This is the 13th, 57%, right? I think Melvin Capital announced that they were short. A couple of them had announced a couple of days after. So the 11th, it was between these 2 weeks. I don't have the exact date. Now I looked for it, but I couldn't find it. That they were short. Okay, so that was picked up by Wall Street Bets. So they're gonna run this thing up, right, and get them out of their short positions. It goes up. It gets aggressive, right? So the next day we go up 27%. We go down a little bit, up again 10, kind of flat. 9. What day are we on? 21st, 22nd. So on the 27th, they announced, which was yesterday, that they got out of their position on the 27th. We're on the 22nd. So they kind of held, that's a big jump. 51%. It was reported that they were down as much as 30%. The total value of the hedge fund was right around $2 billion of managed funds. So 30% of that is, let's see. I don't want to do the math in my head, so I'm going to do it on my calculator real quick. About 600 million, right? This was before it ran up like you're about to see it run up. So that's at 65. Next day we go up again. Next day we go up again, 140. Next day we're up again, right? We ran all the way up on the 27th. They closed their position that morning. In pre-market, it was up over $300. Today, it went all the way up to $483. There was other hedge funds that were in this short. It wasn't just them. There was multiple. I'm not going to cover them all. Melvin Capital was the main target of this. But also, so where's this big price fluctuation come in? The trading app, Robinhood, along with other trading apps, basically all of them, at some capacity halted trading on GameStop and others. So there was other stocks that were largely shorted. I was actually in one of them. I didn't actually know that it was one that was on Wall Street Bets. I don't monitor Wall Street Bets daily, but FUBO was actually one that had high short interest. I was in that. If you watch my channel, I had talked about it, that, I was in and I actually exited. I got in at around 33. Got out around 39, re-entered 41, got out at 49, because there was weakness there. We can go over that too, but today Robinhood had limited, there was 13 stocks, basically, which had gotten some sort of mention on Wall Street Bets, and they basically stopped trading on all of them. It was GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond, Nokia, AMC, Sundial, which is a marijuana stock, BlackBerry, Express, Trivago, American Airlines, 13 of these stocks. Naked Brand Group, Tootsie Roll, whoever owns that, I guess, Castor, Koss. Yeah, so that looks like all of them. So this is unprecedented. This had never happened. Like there's what they call circuit breakers. If there's large volatility in the stock, that's set through regulation to pause stock for so many minutes, and then if that happens, they have so many circuit breakers that can get hit, and then the stock stops trading for the day. This isn't what happened. The CEO of Robinhood did a CNBC interview. You can go look on that. He basically said that they did it to shore up the demand that they had from the clearinghouses requirements in order for them to keep money there to basically fund the trading and the volatility that was happening in their platform. So, which kind of didn't make any sense to me, because if they were having issues and they had to shore up their business, then they should have just shut down the app totally. They shouldn't just have targeted specific stocks, and particularly these stocks that were on Wall Street Bets. So what you saw today was unprecedented. What's going to come out of it, I'm not sure. They did, and also in that same interview, announced that the stocks that were restricted trading are going to be unrestricted in the morning. So main one, talking about GameStop, and aftermarket, it was already up 6%, back up to 300. I mean, there's a lot of speculation. I've been reading the majority of the afternoon. A large holder in Robinhood is one of the hedge funds that had a short position. So there's speculation that they were directed by them to stop. They basically discredited any speculation the CEO did of some sort of manipulation or direction that they got to shut down, you know, or pause trading in those stocks. For a lot of people, Robinhood is like the only option to trade. There's Webull, there's TD Ameritrade. It's just the onboarding on Robinhood so easy. The interface is so simple, but I mean, what happened here is just crazy. We'll see what happens. If they try to make it right, some people will forgive them, some won't. They'll move on. I just wanted to cover it because what happened today is just crazy. And at some point, they were actually closing people's positions with the disclaimer that it was for to protect them from volatility. Basically saying you're not smart enough to trade this or handle this. We're going to take it off your hands. And yeah, if I wanted to hold it, you can't hold it. We're going to sell it, which is crazy. That's basically saying, the prices of houses are going too high and dumping, they're too violent in where you live. So we're the local government. We're going to come in and sell your house because we're going to protect you from any losses that you could potentially have because maybe real estate in your area is going down, which would be crazy. That would never happen. That's basically what happened. At some point they sold what you owned without your consent. So it's crazy. None of the other platforms I know did that. They did halt trading. Webull did. They put a statement out that their clearinghouse had paused trading, so they had basically no options but to shut it down. TD Ameritrade had limited short selling and what else? Requirements for taking margin, which is another thing. But that was the only thing that they halted. They didn't actually halt. You could still buy, sell on that. So yeah, this is unprecedented. What you saw at GameStop was just crazy. So yeah, that's basically my coverage on it. A little late in the day, you could have seen a bunch of stuff on, Facebook, Twitter. Twitter's where it's at. If you want to get information quickly, especially on this stuff, it's at Twitter. Wall Street Bets, it's back up. The subreddit, it was down for a little while. That's found here. If it'll open. Discord actually took Wall Street Bets off of their platform for hate speech. Kind of odd that they did it, now, whenever all this is going on. But yeah. So anyway, a little bit of history, little overview. We can go over. So what benefited from this? Bitcoin benefited from this. People realize how important decentralized option is for your investments, and Bitcoin rallied. There was some chatter on Wall Street Bets about Dogecoin. Dogecoin has taken off as well. Bitcoin has moved up. Basically, since this move yesterday, we went up 10%. We're up, 1%. We broke through a lot of things, a lot of resistance levels on this 4 hour. Something I, would have liked to happen actually happened. We came down, retested this. We hit this 9, which printed on the 11th. Came down. We didn't retest it with a green number, which is what I like to see. We finally did it here at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock? Yeah, 6 o'clock. Is that 6 o'clock? Let's see. Yeah, 6 o'clock on the 27th. That's yeah, that's 6. Right here. So I can take that off my chart. That was at 3,100. We have good movement. I know we did on the hourly. I looked at this before. We have a 9 here. I'm not so worried about. I mean, I use the 30 the 30 moving average on the hourly, but these 9s, there's a bunch of them. They're not marked, but there's a bunch way down here that just never got retested. And they don't carry much value. There's more value in the 4 hour 9s and the daily 9s and weekly 9s. So right now, there's nothing here. We're good. People call this a descending triangle. Descending triangles usually break down. Fundamentally, Bitcoin's always a buy. So technically, you know, this was a floor. This was heavily defended. 30,000 was heavily defended. We break this right here, 34,888. You know, we have a 4-hour close or daily close above that. We're most likely going higher. We have this 9 here that needs to get retested for a breakout. We're looking good. I did talk about that lucid SAR on the weekly that we could, if we broke it, that was a buy. You could have entered here. We didn't get there. We got extremely close there. Doesn't have to break it. There has been times in the past where I showed previous video that, you know, we got within 3%. What was this? Was this within 3%? Because before last week it was within 4%. But if we get within 3% today, let's see. Price range, where were we? Let me just put a little magnet here. And yeah, within 3%. So what is that? 28,732. Yeah, we got within 2%. So that could have been it. That could have been the pullback. There was short interest that opened up on the funding rate. That went down on the weekly. It doesn't have to go negative in a bull cycle, but we went negative here. That's still negative, so people are shorting. This is a counter. You counter trade this. So whenever this is negative, you can go long. Shorts are opening. You know, like we just talked about a short squeeze. There's more short interest right now. So as long as this stays short or this goes higher, people are not net long. And whenever it's net long, that's where you kind of want to be careful. We're not even net long. We could go higher. We're most likely going to go higher. GameStop halting on trading. What was going on with GameStop right now and all these other stocks that had short interest, it was more than just trading. It wasn't about, I mean, it's about making money, but at one point it wasn't just about trading. There was a lot more going on. And if you go on Twitter, there was, you know, senators, House representatives, hedge fund managers, people in finance, people not in finance, talking about what was going on today because this was a big deal. So ultimately, if we go, yeah, this is on the 4-hour, so 34,888, we're going higher. You know, everything still looks great on Bitcoin. I'll go over TLRY because that was something I had talked about. We'll go over the hourly. So it's been trying to break out here. Daily, we had a 2. It didn't close above it. We're trying to break out again. Hourly 30 EMA. You know, we're right at it. We're right at support. Post market, I think it might have gone down to that. No, it's actually up like 8 cents, so it's fine. You would wait until it closes below this before you would exit. You know, we're kind of just consolidating. You could say that this is an ascending triangle. It's kind of short. And I also did say, you know, a couple videos ago that if I absolutely had to draw some sort of support levels at this Fibonacci, it worked out. It actually worked out real well. I drew it on the, what did I draw? Yeah, on the daily. 17 was support, and we're going. So as soon as we break this, we're good. Let me draw this. Well, I'll do it on the hourly because it looks better. I say I don't trade the hourly. I'd use it a lot, but I guess I don't really use the TD sequential on the hourly, but I do use it. Do use the hourly, I guess, quite a bit. So here we go. Ascending triangle. These have high probabilities of breaking out, as do descending triangles of breaking down, which we saw on Bitcoin and what people are actually drawing. So I'm going to put it here. Right here. There's only 2 touches there. I guess you can count that as one if you pull this up a little bit. Yeah, this isn't an exact science, like I said. You're looking for patterns that kind of give you a hint of what could happen. And this is, you know, some people just say, oh, yeah, trading's luck. You're just drawing lines on a chart. Yeah, well, sometimes those lines give you an inkling of information. So this could be, maybe I'll move that over to make it look a little bit better. Yeah, this could be your ascending triangle. So you have a fake out, 1, 2 touches, 3. I mean, I like it to be the body of the candle, but this technically counts as a touch. That was close. You could, like I said, you could make that if I brought that in, that'd make it nicer. So 1, 2, 3. We get a bounce off of this. What's our target? Our target initially is the height of that, which would bring it right around this high. If you got a daily close, I mean, this is on the hourly, but if you got a daily close above 2240, 2259, yeah, you could go with an hourly. I mean, a 4-hour. If you got a 4-hour close above that, yeah, it did happen on a daily time scale. So yeah, it was. We could probably expect it to go above, to 22, maybe consolidate and then go these higher prices. Let's look at the RSI on this. On the daily, we're kind of, maybe kind of lingering in an area of support, which basically this is showing. 4-hour, yeah, we're trending down a little bit. Trending indicator down with price stability on the top, and this is a divergence. So what type of divergence is this? This would be a, let's see. So if I'm here, we have price is flat, and we have the indicator trending down. That would be bearish. So, but if, I'm having here, and I can draw this a couple ways. So this is kind of like where it's not going to be helpful. And I'm probably getting too deep in this. I try to keep these simple, but price is flat. I mean, we can see price is flat here by this line. Price is flat, divergence here, but then I could also say price is flat with a rising indicator as well. So that could be also a kind of symmetric triangle on the RSI, and if the RSI breaks above this, we probably get upward price action. Let's see what our CMF is. CMF is kind of balanced. Let's look at the hourly. Yeah, it's kind of descending. So, I'm kind of neutral on this. If we do break below this, I would technically, that would be an exit. Doesn't mean that, we're not going to find, again, support at 17. But that triangle would have broke. So we would have drawn this where it broke, and that would bring it down to 15, which would bring it down to this next level of support. So right now, TLRY may be neutral at best. If we have to exit, we would exit. We would keep our losses minimal, below 2% of our total account. Let's go to, what did I say? TLRY FUBO. So that was something I had traded. Basically, took the trade on the hourly EMA entry, which was here, 33. I did exit a position based on the 15-minute, even though I say I don't go lower time frames, that we had so much over, it was so overbought. I kind of needed to protect, you needed to protect your returns. So we were overbought here. We hit the 9. We kept on going. We had some divergence happen, extreme divergence on the 15-minute. So there's times, especially in these smaller market caps kind of trades, assets, you would have to be a little bit more aggressive on your exits. I set an exit here, so at 49.25. We got there. It's good that I did. Because, yeah, we're down way more. So that's where I had exited that trade. That was the final entry. But yeah, so here, enter. Took the profit. Once we broke down, because we had some divergence. I didn't wait. The 30 EMA was better for this. I didn't wait for that to happen. I protected my profits. Still would have made money. But 35, took it somewhere here. No, not here. Right here. So made like 50% instead of 30. And that's about it. So any suggestions? Oh, Silver's actually looking good. On the weekly, this longer term strategy was playing out, and it played out well. We're still kind of trending. We're still kind of ranging, but these are starting to trend up together. This was higher than the blue line today. We had a 4-hour close above the prior week high of 26.04. I'll show you where that happened. That happened here. So you would have opened, or you could have opened a position there. Right now we're kind of down in the post market, but where would you exit? The 30 EMA if you wanted to keep if you wanted to keep your risk at a minimal, you would exit here. That's less than a 2% move, I believe. It was like 3%. Yeah, it's like 3.2%, 3.25. You'd size your position so where it's less than 2% of your total account, and you would get out, and then you would wait. This is where this is telling you to go all in, but you're limiting your risk by using the 30 EMA, which has been back tested, and even on silver it works. I think the returns would have been like 109% if you would have just traded it blindly. I actually don't have to say I think. I can show you. Oh, did I click on something wrong? There we go. Not every tick. That's not what I wanted. Right there. 109%. If you blindly trade it. And that would have been since 2020. So since this year, since the beginning, 2020. Since last year, you would have basically, it's a year. That would have been a year. Pretty much a full year. You would have, your profit would have been 109%. Over a year if you blindly traded this right here. I mean, there's a lot of entry and exits. You could have waited, right? You wait one candle, and then you enter the trade. One candle after it closes above the 30, then you entered in order to make sure you don't get these, entry and exits in the same candle. But yeah, you would have fared well, 109% profit. So, yeah, this thing works, and you could exit on that, and that's what I plan on doing, using a combination of what I have, and then how am I going to determine that we're maybe overbought or going down? I'm gonna look for my 9s. I can enter on my 9s. This is an 8. This is below the 6 and the 7. That would have given you an entry. Here's a 8, which is above the 6 and the 7. That would have given you an exit. 9, I could have entered here, exited here. If I trade the TD blindly, that would have given me 20%. So, yeah, you got to form. I mean, I'm showing you a couple things, what I use. Formulate your own strategy. Learn. If you really want to get good at this, learn risk management. So, but that's it. Hopefully the GameStop was good and informative. If there's anything else y'all want me to cover or try to, or talk about, I'll do my best to provide that content. But thanks for watching.